If you've had trouble with your Harbor Freight welder, like specifically the Titanium 125, not wanting to start an arc, you're not alone. I've had this happen to me a handful of times, and it's always been one of two things. So we'll go over those, but first, check the obvious things. Make sure that your machine is turned on. Make sure you have wire in the machine. Make sure that your ground clamp is securely fastened to the cable. And finally, make sure that you are grounding to clean metal. Make sure your metal's clean, because obviously it's not going to ground through paint, and you're not going to be able to weld through paint. So if you got those all out of the way, there's two major things that you can check. And both of them have to do with your torch. First thing is the tip here. These are consumable. The copper part here is removable. It unscrews. The plastic part is not, and it's very hard to find, so do not break these because they're impossible to find. They have them at Harbor Freight, but they're not threaded, and these are supposed to be threaded. So basically all you do is cut your welding wire at an angle, and then remove that tip. And then we cut the welding wire at an angle because it makes it easier to put the new tip on. These tips are very cheap. They come in a 10-pack. They're meant to be consumables. So if you're buying the welder, you should probably just pick some of those up anyway, because eventually you will need them. If you're like me, you've accidentally dropped the torch on the ground, and it can bend them up. And also when you're welding, it can really gunk up right there where the wire comes out, and then it's impossible for the wire to come out. Now if you've changed your tip and it still doesn't want to go, if you pull the trigger and nothing comes out, you've checked that you have wire in the machine. Here's what you do. This is basically a switch, an on and off switch, like a push button essentially. So on, off. You set everything else in the machine, and what happens, especially in this area, is this gets dirt inside, so you gotta clean it out. And I know you're thinking, God, I don't want to take the torch apart. That's gonna be a pain in the ass. You're right, it would be, but you don't have to take it apart at all. All you gotta do is buy some electronic cleaner or mass airflow sensor cleaner, and then you just blast all up inside here. Let it drip out, let it totally dry, and that should solve your problem 90% of the time. I have had that specific problem happen to me at least twice, and I blasted it with some MAF cleaner, mass airflow sensor cleaner, or electronic cleaner, and it always works every time. And then obviously the other problem I've had is the tips, but that's kind of my fault. So hopefully this video helped you. I wish this video existed when I had these problems, but now I got you. But as usual, you be good while I'm gone. I will see you next time. Have a good week.